Anybody that just came, no worries. You didn't miss anything. I was literally just talking. Literally just got started. I got this stupid mic every time I move my hand over it mutes. Gotta get a new one. I don't like that. Trucks, David. Mm, certain trucks. Not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Only certain trucks. Like, for example, TRX. You can do it with the TRX. You could do it with the 4x4 G Wagon. You could do it with that vehicle. But not trucks. Normally, you can't really have trucks, bro, because they depreciate like to the bottom. And I'm gonna show you the curve of how cars depreciate. So let's get to it. Only like this works for only like certain types of vehicles. So this is not just all vehicles. Like any vehicle that's mass produced, any vehicles that you see outside, you walk outside, and you see every day. Those are vehicles that's considered mass produced vehicles, and those vehicles don't work. So if you was to go like if you go on vacation, you go especially go to California or you go to Miami, them cars that you normally don't see every single day you walk outside your house, those are vehicles that you want to focus on the heck. And I have a list of all the vehicles, the years, the models, the options, the specs that you guys should be looking at. So to start, anybody can start this right now. If you have a hold on, if you have a credit score 650 and up, and you have at least some type of cash flow 50K or net income that you can prove, you can get started right now. Um, and then we can like literally like, but you gotta have the finances to back that. So let's stay on top in there. So what we're gonna be talking about today is basically this is the agenda. We're gonna talk about car hacking explain. I'm gonna explain to y'all what it actually is and what it is not. This is nothing illegal. It's not leasing tricks. It's not any loopholes. This is literally just a different strategy of how you can own vehicles. Like I said, asset strategy versus consumer mindset. We was always taught that you can't that no car is valuable. You can't make money using cars. All cars depreciate. The exotic cars are bad to drive because they always breaking down or they too expensive or we can't afford them. All these things that we was taught growing up was just more lies and more lies and lies and lies. Because behind exotic cars, it could literally be a part of your portfolio. And I'm talking about like $1 million and up. Like where you can borrow against you can borrow against vehicles. You can make money off of vehicles like that. So then we're going to talk about the depreciation curves that create opportunity. So what I was talking about in the beginning, when I said when you first buy a car brand new off the lot, it loses 12% as soon as you drive off the lot. Then within that first year, majority of cars, if not all cars, in the first years between 1 and 3, you loses 20 to 30%. And that's the problem. That's the problem.
What the
Because
hell?
who that? I can't see you. Who talking?
That's me. My bad.
Oh, I heard hello. Hey, that sound like
No, I
you.
say what the hell. My bad. I didn't know I was on mute. My bad.
Are you good?
This
You
phone stuff
good?
is so lost.
You good? I can't. So, I can't. Yeah. So y'all want to talk? Just unmute yourselves. 'Cause I can't see the chat. So, well, I can't see the chat. Not mine. So, how depreciation curves create opportunity? What I was saying was, when you first buy a car off the lot, it instantly loses its value. Then you're upside down alone. So that's the problem right there. The problem is buying new cars. Certain all not all new cars because cars it's like like hyper cars. I know this is probably different for people that don't really know cars, but it's okay because that's not the point. You just need to know the right car, not literally every single car. But like hypercars, sports cars, luxury cars, some of those types of cars they do actually appreciate the moment you drop buy that vehicle brand new. So it's not all cars, certain cars, but majority of cars though, and I want y'all to understand is that you don't never want to buy cars brand new unless you buying a car that's at least a $500,000 and up. Cause that's when cars start to really appreciate in year one, between year one and year three, like $500,000 and up cars. So it's not just cars that you still can afford or get right now. It's only the cars that's literally $500,000 and up, and certain cars probably like $250,000. Certain cars, but I'm gonna show you all this. You're not gonna be in this alone. But yeah, so the depreciation curve creates opportunity. Then using that for timing as leverage, which I just was talking about, it's all about timing. Like I said in the beginning, I want y'all to understand. You'll never ever buy brand new cars. Don't follow the I need to have this brand new thing because it's brand. I want to be the first one out with it. I want to be the no. Don't that stuff doesn't matter. That's when you lose money at the beginning. You always lose money buying brand new shit. So that doesn't matter. Trust me. You so worried about looking nice because it's brand new and you want the new, but you losing a ton. You losing a ton of money driving around that new. You could be driving around the old and making a lot of money from it, or you making profit, or sometimes even breaking even. And breaking even is just you putting that money into that car. Say the car $100,000. You buying that car for 100 grand, and then when you want to sell it, you literally get that whole 100 grand back. See, when you do with the mass produced cars, you're not getting anything back that you put up in the beginning. You're losing everything. You always gonna be upside down because you're buying the wrong cars, and that's timing. And then we're gonna talk about how financial structure affects the total cost of the vehicle. Why most people lose money on cars and how to avoid it. And then we're gonna talk about how they actually depreciate, which I was talking about earlier, between years 1 to 3 versus years 4 to 7. And then why I'm buying new is the most expensive mistake. And then what years 2 to 4, and then 2 to 4 year old vehicles, they like this like the street is a sweet spot buying them. So not even two. I said after the third year, because even on the third year, brand new, right? A lot of these cars they lease them out. They throw small monthly payments up there to trick us to make it seem like, oh wow, I can afford that monthly, but not knowing in the long term you're losing a lot of money. So that's another trick that they do. But so the first year the car came out, right? The third year, when people is returning the lease vehicle, that third year it's a bunch of supply coming back in on car market. It's a bunch of supply coming back in. So on the third year, it's still not good. Certain cars, but still not good to buy the third year because all these cars is coming back in from active leases, right? So now just a bunch of supply on the market. And then the fourth year, that's where the sweet spot really starts to happen. So you want to buy cars that's about 4 years old. You don't never want to buy brand new cars, 4 years or older. And then we're going to talk about how the mileage, the brand, and the spec affects resale value. So this is one of the key points to understanding car hacking. Sorry, I want to speak. This is one of the key. This is one of the key points understanding how our car hacking strategy works. Is the mileage on the car, the brand of the car, and the specs that car has. That when certain cars flatten or appreciate. Flatten is basically. Somebody want to speak?
Yeah, me. Who's
Oh,
Zoom?
no.
Who's Zoom user?
Say it again.
Who is Zoom user?
Zoom user. I
Yeah.
have no idea who Zoom user is.
Y'all can hear
But
me? Can
Corey.
y'all hear me?
Oh, that's you. Okay, okay.
oh, who
I
that?
always
Corey.
I want to make
Corey.
sure nobody's in here that's not supposed to. I always look
No,
out.
no, no. It's not
Uh,
everybody. This is for y'all. This is for
yeah,
this. The first one
Okay.
is everybody coming.
Okay,
yeah.
bet.
This
Okay.
is cool right now.
Y'all can't hear me.
Yep.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I want to make sure because I don't know how to use this phone stuff. I want to make sure I'm not talking over y'all
Nope.
guys.
I'm
Oh
looking.
no.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
You not
All
home?
right. I'm good, huh?
You not home?
No, I'm going to cross the street real quick.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
I also
I'm
want to say this
Prince's
before I
assistant.
go. I want to say this before I get off real quick. It's unfortunate that you have to say stuff like, this is not illegal." I wanted to say this real quick.
Yeah,
Well,
cause
how bad they cooked everybody. Like, we're making you think where you doing the right thing is actually illegal, right? Like doing the smart thing is illegal. Also, if you guys watch that video I posted up when I'm wearing all this stupid shit on me right now, right? Clothes that I don't like to wear, stuff that I don't like, my
I
jewelry I
just seen
don't
that
wear.
video too. Mhm.
Yeah, like that stuff right here. They tell y'all that's what wealth is. Buying the brand new stuff and doing all that. That's what wealth is and stuff like that. That stuff there is to trick you, all types of stuff like that. So please listen to what he's saying because you guys got to do it the right way. As you can see what he's saying, don't buy it in 3 years because you lose money when you do that.
Mhm.
I'm asking you guys, if you listen to what he's saying, there's nothing but that's investing assets. When you're buying cars, you're investing into yourself, not to drive Uber, by the way. So when you buy cars to drive Uber, you're not investing into yourself. All right. I just want to make sure. That's all I want to say. I just also want to make sure I'm not talking over you guys. All right. Thank you.
Now you good. Yeah, and with these cars, you drive Uber with these cars. I'm about to try to get you taking the value of that car anyway. So that you just fucking yourself 2 times now. Uh, um, B, for exotic cars, right? What did you mean by that question? I didn't. I missed that question. Yeah, Model Two, right? I was gonna go into that, Chris. What's up, Chris? I didn't know you was here. What's going on, man? Definitely, the make and model. Just the car, the whole car itself is important. The whole car itself, right? And we're gonna get into all that. Right now, this is just this is beginner phase introduction. Showing y'all what I'm gonna be showing y'all what I'm gonna be teaching y'all, and just basically understanding the concept of this strategy. Like it's nothing new, nothing new event. It's literally just a different strategy of how to own these vehicles. Let me get back to my screen. So when certain cars flatten or appreciate, when the first year you buy that car, as it tanks and loses its value between years 1 to 4. After year 4, some cars flatten out. So let me see. Let me see. So like and I got a graph for y'all too. But after year, I'm gonna show you. We can get to it. We can get to it. But I'm sure I'm gonna try to really fully understand what I'm talking about. Like, so I ready to show y'all, then I can tell y'all. I'm just going ahead of myself because I'm like, this is like this card talk, the mathematics behind the stuff. This is like literally me. Like, I really like, I'm saying. This is literally what because I've been loving cards since I was younger, and then when I met Seth and learned business, then the mathematics behind certain, certain assets and certain items is like, all right, wow, this is crazy. To put two and two together, and then I can really show what I actually like to do and what I like to teach people and stuff like this, because it's a lot of things that we, since we was born, there was a lot of things, not a lot of things, everything that we then was taught was damn near wrong on how to do everything literally. So even like I said, even it's funny because what just happened 2 nights ago about what happened about how what Chris had posted. It's funny that we even just literally talking about, like, because we ain't going to war right now. We talking about cars. Like, who would think fucking cars don't matter right now, right? We in damn World War III. We talking about cars, but certain vehicles can help you position yourself farther down the line, where you park your money inside that vehicle, and over time it's going to gain. It's going to keep gaining value, and then when it's time for you to exit, you then made a profit. And then you just do that with another vehicle. You literally, and that's the wealth transfer system. You literally just, it's like a cycle. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. With that, depending on the asset type, you do the same thing over and over and over again. See, with cars, and depending on a certain car, is a little different, because certain cars you actually like in the beginning stage. Well, it's not against. It's gonna be like both. It just depends on where you are, where you at in life. So in the beginning stage, right? These cars that I'm gonna show you how to get. These are the cars that you want to drive around in. Look, look nice in, and still make a profit or lose as little as possible, versus what you're losing always as possible when it comes to driving mass produced cars. And then you have the vehicles where you just hold and you let them sit. Those are like collectible items. Those, you still can drive them, of course, but I'm just saying, like, it's gonna be a different point in time where y'all doing this, where you're going to want a car for for a certain specific thing. So you might want a Lamborghini Urus to literally just drive around in, and look good, do business deal, do business deal, whatever, and not lose no money at all by driving around in it. Or you could get you could get a LaFerrari and just let that sit, let that appreciate over time. So that's a supercar LaFerrari. So them type of cars you can literally just collect and let it gain value over time. And then we're going to talk about the netting of a car deal. So what's the actual price of an actual car before dealers do all their markups on the vehicle, right? So we're going to talk about MSRP versus invoice versus true dealer costs. We're going to talk about holdback and manufacturers incentives. So the holdback is basically they get a kickback on certain vehicles that they sell. Sometimes like 3 to 8%. Like they get that on a they get that's back end money. So that's the stuff that you don't see. Like that's the stuff that they don't tell you, obviously, because they don't need to. So because they don't only make money on selling you the car, it's a bunch of different ways they make money. Like everything right here, the floor plan interest and inventory pressure, what they got to pay on the vehicles that they hold, front end profit versus back end profit, the money that they making, then finance reserve and rate markup. This is basically what they make on when you finance a vehicle, which is why a lot of dealers like you financing a car through them specifically rather than just buying the cash. Why dealers can sell an invoice and still win is because of all these things that they make money from. So they can still sell the car invoice price and still make money on it. So that's why it's always good to negotiate. You never want to pay what they're asking for. You never want to do that. Because you gotta understand something. These dealers, they in the game, they're really in the game to make money. So when when Seth taught me this, when he taught me that, when he taught me and Hit Nation, the key when it comes to like getting customers and making money, like you want to sell to you want to sell to a customer multiple times, you want to sell to one customer multiple times. That's literally what dealers do. They literally sell a bunch of things to us one time, and they do that to every customer that walk in the door to try to buy a car. That's why I was asking you earlier, like if I ever bought a car, like did y'all actually understand what's going on in that finance office? Like did y'all actually understand like the numbers and what they was telling you? Like a lot of these things we wasn't taught. We literally taught to go to the
No, I
dealership.
just signed. I just kept signing,
Exactly.
and that was
That's
I screwed
it's because they
myself.
literally was taught just go to the dealership and give them what they offering. We
I
didn't ask
screwed
no
myself
questions.
royally because I never paid attention to the fine print.
Yeah. And we didn't ask no questions on interest rate, on the actual car price,
Yeah,
which
the
is
interest is
the only
where
thing
they
that
got.
matters.
They
Yeah, the
fooled
only
me.
thing that matters is the car price. Nothing else matters but that car price being going in there and negotiating a deal. It's that car price. People we was focused on a monthly payment. This is we was talking monthly payments. I want monthly payment to be low, so because that's all I can afford. But really that's still kicking you in
Exactly.
the ass.
You
You
hit
know
the
what I
nail on
mean?
the head.
Yeah, focusing on the wrong thing.
Had a fever this morning. Oh, no, reason.
Then they show you then they get you by showing you the car, but that and even that plays into car hacks. Say that again.
Monique, can you mute yourself, sweetheart?
Oh, yeah, I can't see who's unmuted or not. Can y'all mute yourselves? So
Have a position.
I
I
don't
don't think she knows that she's. I can't mute her. You
all right,
can.
so hold on. Let me see if I can real quick. I don't think she's good now.
Yep, she's good.
All right. All right, so why dealers can sell an invoice because they make so much money on the back end and the front end, not just selling the car. How volume bonuses change negotiation power. This is basically how many cars did they selling per month. So on a certain car, so depending on the volume of it, the dealership also give them incentive on that as well, and that can also help you when it comes to negotiating a car. Then we're going to talk about buying versus leasing versus car hacking. Probably not gonna get into this today, but as we go along, but this is pretty simple too. Look, all of you got to pull up some numbers and show y'all the difference between where buying something versus losing something, and actually using the car hacking strategy. But this is literally talking about the structural differences, the true cost comparison over 3 to 5 years, equity versus usage mindset. When leasing makes sense and financing makes sense, what this never does. I don't know why I put this. This doesn't make sense. To be honest with you, like I said, unless you just this only makes sense if you feel like you already made it in life and you just want to go that route and you want to be lazy. And this only makes sense if you just want to be lazy. Because like I said, a lot of people don't want to do this strategy because they don't like the idea of getting in and out of cars for 6 to 2 years, 6 months to 2 years. When while you're doing that, you're literally saving. You losing less money as possible, or you breaking even, or even making a profit. So I never understood that mindset. I don't want to understand it because I really don't care for it. But I'm just saying, since it's on here, that's the only time it makes sense if somebody really just don't care. Like they're just comfortable with the way they live and it's success already, then cool. Congratulations to them. You made it in life. So that's when it makes sense. That's probably why I put it on there. But then with strategic buying makes sense, same thing. No, it's not the same thing. This is car hacking. This is where I'm gonna show you guys the right vehicles to buy and how to do it strategically. Then we're gonna talk about insurance. And exotic insurance and taxes, which we're gonna talk about too, but it's not on here today. And warranties. These warranties, taxes, and insurance is the three main big factors that scare people away from doing this car hacking strategy, because they think, well, the taxes part, right? They don't know that took a factor into all that. That was the can factor. It gets in fact to the car price anyway. But I'm just saying that's one of the strategies you use to determine how much money you add that into it, determine how much money you're going to make when you sell this car. And then with the insurance, I'm gonna show you guys how to how certain vehicles you want to focus on, and certain things that on your insurance premium that you should look at when it comes to insuring an exotic car. Because insuring exotic cars is different from insuring a regular mass produced vehicles. The values is different. The agreed value versus the stated value policies. The factors that affect the rates, like age, location, mileage, storage, that affects the rates regardless of any car you insure. But exotic is different, especially when it comes to like storage wise and where the car is actually located at, like the address on that car file, and how to lower insurance costs strategically. Then we're going to talk about repairs and warranties, factory warranty versus extended warranty, third-party warranty companies, common high-cost failure items, maintenance planning versus surprise repairs, when warranty is worth it and when it's not. So this is the introduction to strategies and understanding what Sparta Drive is and how hacking works. So today, literally, I want y'all to understand exactly what car hacking strategy is. We're gonna get into all the goodies too. I'm gonna try to see if I could do another class before the 5th, just so the people that's can't have access to it could still, But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. So that's like I said. This is what I want you guys to understand today is what car hacking is, like a strategy behind it. All right. So take the money, park it in the car, and it would do three things: either make you a profit, you even break even, or you drive for less as possible than what you would when you drive a regular car, or the same amount. Excuse me. So this is just a disclaimer here. I just want y'all guys to know that all content here is only for educational purposes. I'm not no financial advisor. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not no attorney. I don't do any tax professional discussions. This is not financial advice. This is not leasing program or investment or vehicle guarantee strategy. Results may vary based on the market conditions, personal finance position, and execution. So you are solely responsible for any decision you made based on information. So I just want you guys to put that there and let y'all know that this is the system that rewards what you do. This is not me teaching you anything. This is not me telling you go buy this and go do that. It's literally a system of rewards. All right. So what this is not car hacking strategy, Sparta Drive. Car hacking is not leasing cars. It's not financing cars. It is not flipping cars. It's definitely not flipping cars. A lot of people get mistaken for this strategy. They think it's flipping cars because you're buying a car, you're holding it, and then you're reselling it. It's not flipping cars. That's not what it is, right? Like I said earlier, it's the mathematics behind the actual vehicle and understanding the vehicles in that market and where the market condition is currently at with that vehicle, right? And that's what I was saying earlier about how people always thought that cars they don't bring no value at all but not knowing that if you're actually because every like you said, every piece of product, every piece of item, whatever you want to call it has its own market. So if you're not in that market and you're just speaking from a consumer mindset, because that's called conventional thinking. So if you just conventional think all the time, of course you're not gonna know none of this stuff. Because you're a conventional thinker. You don't even think outside of yourself. So people be thinking cars, this stuff don't exist when it's been here the whole time. Like I said, this strategy, I didn't create this. This is not new. This is not new. This has been around for years. Like heck, the hacking strategy, instead of all you hear is leasing and finance. It's the only two words you hear when it comes to owning a car or getting a vehicle, leasing and financing. Not knowing it's a whole different strategy you could use to save you money and drive around in the same and drive around a nice fancy car that you paying to drive around in that Toyota or that Honda or that Camry or whatever mass-produced vehicle that you have. Not knowing that you don't even want that car. You only got it because they told you this is all you could afford. It's the only reason why you got it. That's the only reason why you got it. And leasing, that's the most attractive thing to a lot of the majority of people in the world. They love to lease vehicles out because they see that small monthly payment. So this is not nothing new. It's been here. So car hacking is about understanding how to purchase strategically structured deals properly and reduce unnecessary loss. That's what I keep saying. It's to reduce unnecessary loss. Because if you can figure out a way to save as much money as possible, even make profit from driving around as something that you're gonna be driving around every day anyway, why not drive around as something that's gonna make you money or something that's valuable? Why not just do it? Who cares about I don't want to get in and out of selling cars. I'm gonna keep the car. To have somebody else do it, I'll do it for you. Just pay $1,500, I'll do it for you. $1,500, I'll do it for you. And that's to make sure that you don't lose a ton of money driving around in something that you will be making money with. So it's about understanding how to not lose money on the car, right? It's not just about owning cars without losing money. It's about understanding how money moves within the automotive market, which I was just talking about, and how to position yourself accordingly. So this is what you guys need to understand really understand. I'm pretty sure y'all probably got it by now because I'm a lot of people in here, got Hit Nation in here, people that's not stupid, right? So what car hacking is, this is the steps you can follow. It's all you're literally doing is you taking money, you parking it in the car, and it would do three things for you. It's going to either make you a profit, you're going to break even from it, or you're going to
Hey,
save as much as possible.
hey, Prince.
Yeah.
I want to say something real quick to
Yeah,
this
go
part right
got
here.
it.
What you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
All right.
parking. What you
Okay. Just right here.
Can you hear me? No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Keep that. Keep that right here. Come on. I'm gonna add on top of this real quick
Okay.
because a lot of people Majority of the people on the planet don't know this stuff.
Right.
What you're doing right here is the same thing what you do with jewelry. When you
Yeah.
park your money into jewelry, watches, all types of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you said earlier that people don't understand the car market, it's not just the car market. People just don't understand markets. For example, as I was
Right.
saying that in the video earlier today, that people look into my room, like people will say, "How is he wealthy? He just sits in one room," and don't understand that my room costs more than people's houses they live in. Like, you get what I'm saying? So when
Yeah.
you have a bunch of technology and stuff like that, for those who are into computers and everything that's in this room, if you're into computers in this room, you know how expensive this stuff is. And when you have the top of the line of everything, you get what I'm saying? Like, you
Mhm.
gotta, just because you don't understand the market or something, or for example, I didn't know that it was a bad community or a scent community and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And like, even watches, all these things, because we don't know nothing about it, don't mean it's not viable. You get what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
for example, there are people who sit and buy colognes and stuff, buy and sell colognes, and we don't think that that's you just because most people just go to little shops and stuff like that and just buy cheap cologne and stuff like that and don't think that it's viable because it's cheap, because they think with consumer mindset. So
Right.
when you
Yeah.
park when you take your money and park it into things like jewelry, colognes, and cars and stuff like that, and collectibles like the little pops, trading card, Pokemon cards, and all types of stuff like that, it's the
All that
exact same
stuff.
thing. Yeah, it's all the
Hmm.
exact same thing. So you guys want to see the same concept
Everything
with
is teaching
everything.
us.
It's the
Yeah.
same
Everything
thing.
is teaching us. It's literally
Yeah,
this is a different asset type. That's
yeah,
all.
that's it. It's the same. This is the different. It's just different. That's it. It's the same thing, but it's different. Thank you. That's all I want to say, Brent.
Yeah. No problem. Just literally always and that's what I was telling you earlier. This is what I learned growing up, and ever since I met him when I was 19. Just that literally like the way the world moved, the markets and stuff, like it's literally all the same shape, but just a different asset type. So of course you got different rules for that asset type. So when you buying these assets, that's the thing you want to pay attention to because it's important. Because like I said earlier, like even when it comes to exotics, like just the period, like even certain exotics is not good exotics to buy, like a Lamborghini Huracan, not Lamborghini Huracan, I say Lamborghini Huracan. A lot of Lamborghini Huracan, they're good cars they had, very good cars they had. They hold this value like very good. But let's say for the example for a Lamborghini Urus, like certain that's an exotic car. A Lamborghini Urus, like the Lambo truck, the Lamb Chop, the one I was driving in, that's an exotic car, but just because an exotic car is also I want you to understand. Just because it's an exotic car doesn't mean it's just a great hat or it's a great car to buy. Like I said, we can go into it. It's literally about the make, the model, the specs, the options, the colors. They go down to all that, and that's another reason why people don't want to do this because they just don't want to do the information. They don't want to learn. They don't want to study the market of vehicles. And it's on them.
Hey,
I'm just saying, like,
can I add to that too,
yeah.
Prince?
Listen,
What?
drop the
Well,
gems. I already know you're gonna drop the gems.
I gotta go into the learning thing. I really do. I really do. I just
I
want to
drop the gems.
because
Do the duo.
because I want to say shout out to Dara. I had a conversation with my wife about Dara earlier today,
I already
and I
heard.
want to shout out to Dara real quick because I got to
What?
yap after you done here, man. Because I got to talk about this. The thing about it is the way how people see success, and people. I'm gonna be honest with you, people are delusional, man, because it's like people think that you can get rich quickly, and it happens to people overnight. Like, they're special. No one else is special on the planet but them. They special. So
Right.
it took Warren Buffett 40 years. It took Jay-Z 25 years. Myself 20 years. All these type of people to get wealthy, it took them years, 10 years plus, right? Not too many people you see talking about 10 years, but it
Mhm.
takes a long time. So what makes people think that they can just get rich? You, of all people on the planet, billions of people on the planet, you are the one that can just get rich quickly. You were the one. It would just work for you. Billions of people, out of all of the goats that have done this, that even made the financial market that we have today. Warren Buffett is called the Oracle of Money. So this man is called the Oracle of Money, and you think that you're special enough that this man took him 40 years to get where he's at to become the Oracle of Money, and it will take you a day, where you don't have to learn anything. You don't have to have no type of skill set or nothing. You don't have to know anything. You would just put money into something and you will become rich. The delusion in that. where it takes people will sit there and learn about nonsense. They will learn about their favorite music artist, their favorite wrestler, their favorite sports player, their favorite everything. They will go on trips and all types of stuff like that. When it comes to actually learning about how assets work, that takes too much time for them. Think about it. And
Yep.
then they confused about why they're not who they where they want to be. It's just confusing to me. It's confusing me. And then when it comes to people like Darwin, I'm gonna talk about later on. Like people really need to understand and cherish that the fact that they are able to have the opportunity to say, I'm gonna be able to get my shit together and learn about cars and everything and doing like people will hear what you're saying right now and still go buy a bum ass Camry. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then lose money. So I just think that people really need to understand what's being brought to them and understand that what we everything that we're doing is in the benefit of everybody else. And actually take the time to learn something. Like, think about it. When people say I'm too busy, I just want you guys to really, and I'm saying I'm done here after this. I really want
Mhm.
people to realize this. When you say I'm too busy, not you guys in this room, everybody in this room. When people say I'm too busy, and these people working 9 to 5 jobs, these people are in poverty.
I
What are you
understand.
too busy doing? What are you too busy doing? Losing, being a failure? I'm confused. What are you? When people say I'm too busy, shout out to Peter if he's in here. But when he asks, "Hey, can you make a 5 minute video?" My question I'll be wanting to say back to him, and I'm going to ask you if you're in this room now. What the fuck do these people be doing? Like, what are they doing? What are these people are doing where they need long? They can't watch a video for longer than 5 minutes. Just think about that for a second. Think about it. How are you too busy? When you work a 9 to 5 job, you are an average person. What are you doing with your life? What are you too busy doing? Other than being a loser and a failure.
All right.
I'm just saying, learn skill sets. And then I promise you, if you learn skill sets, this is why you have winners and you have losers. Because the winners all know something. The losers don't know anything except what they was taught. Which is why you have to say in this thing right here, unfortunately, this is not illegal. That's
Mhm.
all I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause they just don't want to do the work. And it's simple work. And it's funny because you got people doing the work for you, they still don't want to do anything. So that's why I just like I don't even want to understand it no more. You know what I mean? Because that's just too much of my energy being given out. So oh my bad, Joe. I want the comments. I was yapping. Definitely do it with old school antique cars, bro. Those actually like the 2000s and 90s cars. Those actually the best cars to do it with when it comes to holding them and getting a value over time, making profit from it. What car was you Chris? What was you talking about, Christian? We said these are harder to get into. The market has adjusted for the prices a long time ago, at least for appreciating. What car was you talking about? I don't know what I was talking about at that time. I was talking about the specific car. A long time coming and become services and repairs, man. Herschel, that finances department and the warranty department and repair department. Shh. See, but that's another thing I'm gonna show you how to get around is like doing the PPI is very important. Pre-purchase inspection on vehicles, especially on exotics, is very important. Like super duper 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 important. It can save you a lot of money in the long run. A lot of money. Then so you do the PPI. And then you got also important to know that's another thing why people lose money. They don't pay attention to anything. They just willy-nilly with everything they do, right? When it comes to repairs, doing the PPI, certain vehicles, you have to literally pay attention to certain parts in that vehicle and what's the common cause for that vehicle. So if you're not paying attention to that, and you getting a PPI time to check basic stuff like the oil or the tires and this basic shit that need to be checked for when you should be looking at what's the known problem and causes for these vehicles that break down. That's what you should be looking for, and then you find those problems, you can make sure that they got done. That's one of the ways how you get around that stuff. Yeah, the insurance, we definitely gonna get into that some more. You are serving them, so you're gonna be locked in. Probably won't get into the day though. Oh yeah. Old cars. Yes, that's what I was saying, Christian. Old cars, they harder to get into. That's why I said like when it comes to the old antique cars, the older models, older models, you gotta have quarter. You're gonna be pushing. putting out, because this is gonna be nothing to you guys, because we all, we Spartans now, and Spartan Universe is gonna be nothing. Like these numbers that I'm saying now may sound big now, but trust me, but we do already know the vision. I mean, it don't sound big to me. I'm just saying, I'm just speaking, in a general sense, right? $250,000 and up, or where markets at now, probably pushing like 400 is when you want to start getting into those type of cars. Like I said earlier, certain cars you want to drive around, for 6 months, 2 years. Then you got other cars where you want to actually hold for 5, 6 years, and maybe 6 years and up, depending on the car and where the market is at right now. So that's why I'm trying to understand. Like you said, it's literally take money, park it in a car, you can make a profit, or you can break even. I said this probably about 10 times already since we've been on this car, been on this call. So that's the car hacking strategy. Take the money, park it in the car. You're gonna make you a profit. You're gonna break even from it, and that's where the free part come in. Or you save as much money as possible driving around in crazy cars with the same price as you're paying to drive around in a mass-produced vehicle. So why not just you want the nice shit anyway, right? Why not just drive around it? You got to do the work. So there's something powerful about building equity, right? The right way, the better way to do it. This is the better way to buy vehicles. The majority of car buyers have negative equity assumed because the car industry we talked about earlier brainwashed us with a ton of information, how cars are supposed to depreciate your liabilities and then hold no value and things like that, right? But as soon as you, like I said, as soon as you drive off that lot, you are already upside down. What the heck consists of rewards? It basically stops you from being in negative equity every time you drive a car off a lot. So just think about every time you drove a car off a lot, you already are losing money. When you could be driving a car that's
So,
flat
quick
and
question, Prince. The
I'm
gap
gonna say,
insurance, what's that all about? I mean, because it depreciates in value. So, if somebody hits me when I drive off the lot, they're going to pay it off, but you still get kickback because a lot of people don't realize the 4 Kias I had, every Kia, I should have had a check cut to me from the Gap people. And I made sure because you have to stay on them because you won't get it. A lot of people, they miss that check. And I got it every time.
yeah, that's because you know why? It's because you drive around a Kia.
Yeah,
Kia, when it got how seven come to exotic, when it kind of exotic car insurance is different from mass produced cars. It's a
I
different.
know. My dad was in insurance for 29 years.
So
So we know
so
all
he
about
worked.
that.
Yeah, so it's a completely different ball game. It's
Yeah,
a completely different ball game, and that insurance, taxes, all that is going to add to the factor of the cost of the vehicle before you buy it and after you sell it. I'm gonna show you because you'll be able to determine where the vehicle will be at the time you're ready to sell it. So
right.
that's going to give you the idea of what you should be buying in that moment when you're buying the
Correct.
vehicle. And
Correct.
that's where the insurance, the taxes, like it's literally a whole this is just introduction phase, but this it's gonna be literally a whole separate workshop on like taxes, insurance, and things like that.
But if your credit ain't right, you ain't buying nothing. And
Oh
if
no,
you
yeah.
can't do
You're
this
not. Yeah.
program, the
That's why I
one-year
said
program you're talking about, if your credit's not right,
even
you can't do
start
it,
is
correct?
yeah to even start because you got it like your credit is your portfolio everywhere you go, and
Yeah.
then when you trying to get something is they going to look at your credit your portfolio as a whole like everything. If it's
Can,
personal business, they gonna look at all that.
We
can I
need, I need to get with you on that. I really want to be a part of that.
can I
'Cause
can
yeah.
I add on to that?
Yeah, who that? Oh, what's
This is
that?
me. This is me.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's going on? Let me just say this real quick. Um, Everything. If you realize, I want people to put the puzzle together real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we're gonna get. I'm talking with Javier right now on when we're gonna start the credit stuff. I know you've been working with him
Yeah.
yesterday on that. But if you guys put everything together, just like put the puzzle together for a second, you realize that I'm literally setting everything up together because Prince, you just said that you need credit to do this, right?
Yeah. At
Okay.
least it's crazy. At least it's 650. And 650 is nothing to get.
Remember that the Spartan recognition program, not the compensation plan, the recognition plan, right? What is that recognition plan is about? To even evolve and level up inside of the affiliate thing, you have to get the person that you're bringing involved into our ecosystem, our brotherhood, our sisterhood. You have to help people get their credit score up. Just think about this real quick. I would like for anybody, can y'all tell me any type of opportunity, I'm putting the bunny ears up. I don't know if y'all can see me. I'm gonna put the bunny ears up on that. Any opportunity that you guys have and been introduced to where it actually reward you for succeeding. Because I want you guys to understand something. these cars, when you get into these cars, when you buy the watches, when we're going to go into the watches, the jewelry, all types of stuff, this is not the only thing here. I want you guys to understand this one thing, that when you buy this stuff, guess what? You guys are in the know. You guys are in the know. When you driving around the Lamborghinis and stuff like that, what are people going to think y'all are doing? They're going to think that you mega rich and everything like that. So now, because, again, I want you to put everything today together. What did I just talk about? People saying that, oh, well, why should we listen to him if he doesn't look rich? Because, I wear regular stuff. And then when you drive around in Lamborghinis and stuff like that, that's when you get people's attention and stuff, because people that's in poverty are some of the, no, I'm going to rephrase that. People that are in poverty are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. Okay? Because they only listen to and pay attention to what they see, that they believe that is what wealth is. Because they think wealth is fancy cars, fancy clothes, diamonds, all types of stuff like that. And that's not actually what wealth is. What wealth is what we're showing you here. Now, if you put the puzzle together, everything that we're doing here has something to do with each other. I just want you to know. Because, well, Seth, why are you teaching us about gold and everything? Because it allows you to borrow. And allows you to borrow, allows you to have other opportunities, not opportunities in the and stupid shit like that. Opportunities to open up doors for other things for you to walk into. Okay, Seth, why are you teaching us about cars and hacking and stuff like that with the cars? Because that allows you to have opportunities to open up doors for you. So not only when you are driving to places and stuff like that, and you park your Rolls Royce or whatever the case may be, there are going to be people who want to have conversations with you because of that. Like, I'm telling you, the watch that you wear, the scent that you have, the car that you drive, it will have people that you have never thought that you would talk to you, to be able to talk to you. So when you are thinking, like, again, this is why I wanted people to stop just talking about buying businesses and one thing, and just to talk about one thing with Sparta. It's a wealth engine. I'm helping you guys build is a wealth engine. I'm learning everything, of course, about the scent and all that stuff. Like, I knew all that stuff, but even more stuff that I'm going to be helping you guys with. I'm learning from the top, from people who are mentoring me on this stuff and showing me how these guys have done it. And these are boomers, by the way. I just want you to know that. All my mentors are boomers. These are boomers, 70 and up, telling what they did and where money should be placed at. And how to even, another thing, when I teach you guys how to buy mansions. Remember I said that. I'm going to teach you how to buy mansions.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I'm going to teach you how to buy mansions. You guys think that, let me ask you a question. Put it in the chat. One in the chat if you think that I'm going to teach you how to buy mansions so you can just live in it. Just put one in the chat. Put a two in the chat if you think I'm not, is a reason why I'm teaching you how to do that. One in the chat if you think I'm just helping you just live. I talked about it earlier. There's a game that's being played that that majority of the planet, the majority of the planet don't even know that's being played. People not even on the same goddamn board. They're not even in the game. So when they say the system is rigged, they say that the system is against them. All this type of stuff like that. I'm going to have a personal conversation with Ashton about what he posted. But I want you guys to understand the system is not rigged. It just wasn't written for us, if that makes sense. The system was not written for us. So does that make that the system is rigged? What do y'all think? Put in the chat. If you really think that, just be honest with yourself. Be honest with everybody. Do you think that the system is rigged? If it wasn't written for us, do you think that the system was rigged? Does that mean that the system is rigged? I want to know. Put yes or no. If the system wasn't written for us, okay. Thank you, Dara, for being honest. Anybody else think that the system was rigged if it wasn't written for us? Let me explain. All right. Yes, the system. Yes. Bianca, the system wasn't written for us. Let me explain this if so you can look at it in a different perspective. And this is why I stopped caring about race. Okay? Because Prince, you remember, I was all about black folk. Remember that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But remember when we talked about the Black Panthers and all that stuff like that that's in Philadelphia now, right?
Yeah.
Remember what I said about that? Okay. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain to you why I don't care about race and all that stuff like that. And I totally understand what life is about. If the system wasn't written for us, I want you to think about it like sports. Okay? Let's just say that you are a soccer player. Okay? and I'm a football player, if I don't know how to play soccer, which is football in another country, right? And I come in there and you bust my ass and you're the soccer player, was the game rigged for me? Or is this a different game I didn't know the rules to? Just think about that. Just what do y'all think? I'm a football player. You're a soccer player. I just didn't, yeah. So the system isn't rigged. It's just you don't know. You don't know. And you can go, well, Seth, well, they didn't teach us this. Well, of course. Why would they teach you this? Because if they teach you this, then you are now a threat to them. Think about that. You are one, a threat to them. And two, like Christian just said, when kids with rich parents grow up, they already know the rules, but that's why they stay rich.
Yeah.
So now, the rich kids will be who? The soccer players. Who are we that's in poverty? The football players. So why would the soccer players just randomly come to the football players and say, hey, this is how soccer works?
All right.
Why?
That makes sense.
Why? If you want to learn how to play soccer, learn the damn game. Stop playing victim. Stop complaining. Because complaining does nothing. Complaining does nothing. If you want to play in the game, learn the game. And I promise you, what's not going to get you into the game is putting money up and disappearing and say, hey, I'm going to put this money here and I'm going to let the money just whatever the case may be. That is stupid. When it comes to the stock market, and I'm going to be finished here, I just want people to understand. I just really want to get you guys to understand why I see the perspective that I have. Because once you guys obtain wealth, you will understand, especially for those who are Black in this room. If you are a Black person in this room, when you obtain wealth, you will understand that all the shit that we thought that was there to stop us, that has nothing to do with anything. It's just we didn't know. That's it. But the question I have to you all, now that you do know, whose fault is it if you do nothing? Just think about that. Because you can no longer use the excuse that you did not know, even if you still are skeptical, which you will be a fool if you are, and then you leave Sparta and go on your way, and then you become a failure, you still know. I want you guys to understand something, that us teaching you this stuff, when you go into rooms with people, I don't have my tripod here. When you go into rooms, you before us, you and the person that you were talking to every day, your friends and stuff, you guys are on the same playing field. I promise you the conversations is different because you are up here now, not saying that you're better than them, but you're up here mentally, you're up here. They're still there where you were at. There is no way in hell, no way that you will ever be able to go back down. You know why? That you guys, can you please put it in the chat, why can't y'all ever go back down to where your friends were at, where your friends and your family members are at? There's no way in hell that any of you ever can go back down. Can somebody put in the chat why you can't? Prince, you can answer too if you want to.
Well, I know why, because that's just not who I am anymore. I wouldn't even know how to. I wouldn't be able to speak their language, talk their language, anything.
That's one reason. Boom. But here's the main thing. Because what I have shown you, as Prince have shown you, and what you will learn from everyone else here in this group, because there you go, Herschel, because you cannot unsee what the fuck I told y'all. Yeah. You can't see it. You cannot see it. You cannot see it. Yeah. You would never go back there.
Yeah.
You would never unsee it. So there's no way in hell that you would say, okay, I'm not going to be a Sparta and go back to normal, being normal anymore.
Nah.
It's literally impossible. It's literally impossible. It's literally impossible. Think about the stuff that you have learned from here, and think about trying to go back to being normal. It will always sit in the back of your head. It will always sit in the back of your head. Everything, I keep saying this, nothing that we're doing is new. We just found out the truth. And we're just passing it to you guys.
That's it.
That's it. We just found out the truth. We just found out the truth. That's it. Now, while we have this war and all this stuff going on and stuff out here, they're trying to distract us and make us hate each other and all types of stuff like that. Listen, I want you guys to understand something. If you guys, here's some homework. I want you guys to watch The Matrix. 3 of the movies, not the 4th one. Please don't watch that one. The 3 movies. You watch the 4th one, you're like, what the fuck is he showing me? What do you want me to see? The 3 movies. All right? The 3 ones. A lot of people think that The Matrix is a religious movie. Right? Now, I want you guys to understand something. Watch The Matrix and then think about Sparta. All 3 of the movies. All 3 of the movies. Watch The Matrix and think about Sparta. No, I am not Neo. No, I'm not the Oracle. Oracle's AI. I want you guys to realize that The Matrix is what's happening today, and you guys are the ones that's Neo. That's it. You guys are the ones that's Neo. I told you, I'm not here to break you guys from The Matrix because it's something impossible. We have to live here. But you guys will be the ones that the world would be afraid of. Think about it. For those who are changing, in this room, if you are changing in this room, and some of you guys like Chris, I see a huge change in Chris, huge change in Simone, huge change in Brandon, actually every single one of you. If you are changing, you will realize that you will see and you will make other people uncomfortable. You will make other people uncomfortable and you don't have to do nothing. Just by you no longer being stuck will make other people uncomfortable. I told Prince this when I first met him. You will change and everybody around you will act different. Not you acting different. Everybody around you will act different.
And that's exactly what happened.
And I'm telling y'all the same thing. The exact same thing I told that man. It's the exact thing I'm telling y'all now. You will just change your mindset and everybody will fight against you. Everybody will fight against you. Because first, remember I asked you guys earlier, what makes you so special? Now, they asked the question, what makes you so special? Where you the one that I seen grow up. We grew up in the same sandbox. We went to the same high school. We slept in the same bed. We slept and had sleepovers, all types of stuff like that. We went to the same job. We did everything the same. What makes you think that you are the one that can come out of the hole? That's the crab in the bucket mentality. And it's not only for black people. That's just people, period. Because the people, this is why I say, same car shop. Yep. So think about it. This is why I say that the warm market is always the coldest market. Which is why when people start businesses, for those who have businesses here and wonder why their family don't support them, let me give you the truth. Your family will never support you because you were the same person they watch fall, cry, all the mistakes that you have. If you have dated somebody that they've disapproved of or whatever the case may be, every fuck up, they've seen everything that you have done. So what makes you think that you are the one that's going to be the one? Think about that. That's why they won't support you. They're not going to support you until after they can no longer doubt you. Think about that. That's when they support you. When they can no longer, because it's in their face now. When you go there and then they need you. For example, my brother, every fucking few months, he need money from me. Why? To pay off debt. And I keep telling him, if I keep paying his debt off, are you going to, this is what I said to my brother the last time. If I pay your debt off again, are you going to die tomorrow? And he said, why would you say that to me? And he said, why would you say that to me? I said, because I'm tired of paying your debt. You need to die.
Yo.
And he said, why would you say that? Because why am I paying the debt off if you're still here?
Oh, okay. That's okay. All right. All right.
You see? Because it's going to continuously happen over and over and over. You only pay your debt off when you die. And then he said, damn. He said, damn. Because I got tired of him asking me, brother, I paid this off multiple times. If I pay it again, you have to die next. You have to die. Because that's the only time you pay off your debt. Because after the first 2 times, you did not learn anything. Because the first time was, bro, I just need to get this debt. I'm swimming in debt and stuff like that. And I told him, I explained to him, he's doing it wrong. And he said, yeah, I'm not going to get back in debt. And he did exactly what I said he would do. Okay. The second time. And this is my older brother, y'all. I just want you to know that. This is the older brother. Remember, Prince, this is the one that treated me like shit.
Mm-hmm.
You remember? The one that had me sleeping on the floor where I had a bed. Remember? Okay? I just want you guys to understand this. This is the older brother that treated me like shit. Because I was the street dude. I was the one that no one believed in. This was not the one that's going to do it. I want you guys to really listen to this what I'm telling you guys. And then the second time I said, listen, man, I paid the first one off. You said you wasn't going to get in debt. You did it again. You know what his response was to that? Yeah, I just got caught up on bills. And I said, brother, I told you what to do. Take your money, invest in it. The first thing that you do is you pay bills with your check. Why don't you take care of yourself? Why don't you take care of yourself? And he didn't understand what I meant by that. What I mean by take care of yourself is put yourself first. When people think that take care of yourself means taking care of stupid shit like this, listen, they shooting missiles and stuff like that. A missile could come hit this motherfucker at any time. A tornado can come. A hurricane. All types of stuff can come wipe all this stuff out. This material stuff. Take care of yourself first. What I mean by that is invest in yourself first. When you get paid, the money should go to you first. Invest in you and your family first. Then you pay Mr. Bill.
All right. Mr. Bill gotta wait.
Mr. Bill gotta wait. Why are you putting yourself last? And Mr. Bill, just the other a random ass person that you never meet in your life is getting paid first. That don't make any sense.
Let's your bills back, man.
Think about it. At the end of the day, if you don't pay for this shit right here, if you stop paying for this shit right here, and you don't take care of yourself and inflation and everything, you stop paying for this shit, guess what they're going to do? Hey, you got to get out. Think about that for a second. Take care of you first. When I told him that, he said that makes sense. And then the third time, of course, obviously he didn't listen to me.
Second time didn't make sense then.
No, of course not. And the third time, hey, bro, listen, can you help me again? No. If I help you, you have to die. Because 2 things. You will not ask me again to pay your debt. And if you're going to continuously be in debt, then you have to live with it. And strategize yourself. You have a child. You have a child. Your child is supposed to pay that off. One more thing, y'all. Because this is the thing they also made us believe. That when we die, we don't want to pass debt to our kids. We want to die debt-free, and our kids don't want to have debt. And that is the wrong way. Your children are supposed to inherit your debt. Now, that sounds crazy to some of you guys, right? That sound crazy to some of you? That sound crazy that you're supposed to pass your debt off to your children? No? Okay. That means you've been paying attention. All right? For those who don't understand why your children are supposed to inherit your debt, is because when you die and you pass down your debt to them, your debt, your capital gains and everything is resetted. So, for example, let's just say that let's say Kendra. Oh, so Simone is the first person. Simone. Okay, Simone. You die. And your assets is worth 20 million. And the assets that you have is in 20 million, and all you did was pay $25,000 to $30,000 on that. And then you have accumulated, out of that 30,000, you have accumulated $20 million in gains. $20 million. If you pay taxes on that, Simone, you are obliterated. Just want you to know that. The check that you're going to pay Dr. Sam is going to be magnificent, right? Not for you. Magnificent for them. Not for you, though. But when you pass it down to your children, and you have paid $30,000 for it, and it has accumulated to $20 million. When your children get it, when you set everything the correct way, when your children get it, they see it as it was started at 20 million, that they bought it at 20 million. There was no gains. That's why you pass your debt down to your children. So when they sell the assets to pay off whatever debt that you have left, they don't get taxed for it. That's it. So we were taught to not pass down debt to our children, but to die debt free, when it's actually supposed to be the other way around. I want you guys to start thinking like this. When you hear things from these motherfuckers out here, I just want you to think to yourself, instead of thinking, being skeptical on when you hear something like buying assets, buying gold, buying exotic cars, buying all this stuff, don't get skeptical on that shit. How about you get skeptical on somebody that tells you, hey, go to school, go to college, and get a job.
Yeah.
That's when you start getting skeptical. Wait a motherfucker, you trying to set me up. That's when you need to start getting skeptical. When you get skeptical when somebody tells you to do something that every single person that's failing out here is doing. That's when you start asking questions. Like, wait, why the fuck would I do that? Wait, hold up, you're the enemy. You're the enemy. And that's how I got here. Is because I always questioned. Every time somebody told me to do something that everybody in Philadelphia was doing, that live in us row homes, I said, wait a minute. Why would I do that? When 6 neighbors this way and 6 neighbors this way, it's all doing the same thing. And guess what? We all live on the same block. And guess what? I'm broke. And guess what? You broke. And guess what? If we broke and they live on the same block as us, that means they're broke. Think about that. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. Most of them having a job is diabolical. I'm not gonna lie. Most of them having a job is diabolical. Listen, there's not a flex about having a job. Having a job today is like saying that you woke up in the morning. Okay? Here's why. Because at any moment, that can be taken away from you. Just to let you know, especially with AI coming. Like, when people are, and this is one more thing, y'all. One more thing. I want to talk about this.
$1 eggs.
I really want to ask y'all guys this question. Everybody is uncomfortable with how I come off and everything like that. I want to say this. Simone, I love Simone for saying this all the time. She said that she had friends like me. Here's the thing. You need a friend like me. Here's why. I'm going to tell you what it is, and this is what you get. What you see is what you get. But guess what? People will get uncomfortable for me saying the stuff that I say and being honest with them and being blunt and forward. But then we'll go to work and have Brian, Mr. Brian, that makes $1 more or $5 more than you, treat you like dog shit. And you will go, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And guess what? When you get paid and when Brian get paid, guess what happens? Y'all could buy the exact same shit. But also, guess what else? When you get paid and when Brian get paid, guess what y'all both can't do? Y'all both can't buy the same shit y'all want to. Both y'all on the same boat. If y'all wanted to go somewhere on vacation and everything like that, guess what y'all both had to do? You both had to ask. If you wanted to buy a car, one of these type of cars and stuff that we were showing here, if you don't have the credit and everything like that, guess what y'all can't do? Y'all can't buy it straight out. So if people have a problem with how I come off, you ask them, how's your boss talking to you? Something I can fucking find. on the floor. I can go outside and find that on the ground. I'm not letting nobody talk to me like that. You talking to me crazy. We both broke. You get what I'm saying? We both. What the fuck are we talking about? So let me ask you this question, Prince, and I'm done here. I just wanted to see the perspective real quick. All right, Prince, I'm going to ask you this. I know you're going to say no because you don't respect hourly pay. Boy, if I ask you to climb my roof, you see how tall my house is. Climb my roof, right? For $25. We'll go up there.
No.
All right. Anybody going to listen? I got some shingles missing up there. For $25, will any of you climb my roof for $25?
No, I ain't doing that. That's a big ass roof.
I'm just asking. Cut the cap, dog. You ain't climb up there. I will fly you here to climb my roof right now. 25.
But you're turning,
I'm only giving you 20.
the point, the moral of it, you're turning down free money.
No, that's no. You hear me out. I want people to tell me if they're gonna really climb this damn roof.
If there's a ladder,
$25. You see what I'm saying? So Ben Tyson said, no, I'm not gonna lie. All right, $25. You gonna climb your ass up there for $25? You want somewhere? They trust me. They're not coming up there for $25. All right. Now here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. $25. If a roofer came to me right now and said, "Hey, can I fix your roof?" I said, "Yeah. How much you get paid an hour?" He said, $25. I said, "All right, cool. We'll fix that shit for $25." Y'all see what I'm saying? You see that? You see? Now see, Herschel is cooking. Now, the roofer says he works $25 an hour. Okay, cool. Get your ass up there, and for $25, fix that roof. Think about it. He's going to say no. I'm going to say, well, you said that you get paid $25 to fix a roof. Get your ass up there. I got $25 for 1 hour. Get your ass up there. Get your ass up there. So this is where you guys, I just wanted to make sure that you guys start to see. When you start to see these things and stuff like that, and see how the world is built to cook us, think about this type of things like that. And that, by the way, if you ever, I want y'all to use that against the people too. If you ever get back and when you're trying to tell somebody to change their lives and all types of stuff like that, and they hit you with a bunch of excuses, ask them how much money they make an hour. And then you say, okay, I would like for you to do that for me. And they say, all right, well, bet. They're gonna bet. All right, well, I got. How much people are? What's the average? What's minimum wage? I don't know how much minimum wage. I think about $7. $15. $15 is crazy. Okay, so $20. No, I think Roy. I think you
over there.
Yeah, Roy. I think Roy. I think you juicing that, Roy. Well, here's the thing. If somebody is making burgers and shit like that, I want them to be a personal chef. 1 hour. Come to my house for $7. Boom. There you go. Make me a burger. $7. That's all I got for you. $7. $7.25. Make me a burger. Go home after that. They're going to say no. But that's what you're doing now.
All right.
Again, I want you to watch The Matrix. And you will see a parallel to Sparta. I want you guys to watch that, please. And you will see, you will see a parallel to Sparta. You will see what we're trying to do to people. Trying to wake people up. Trying to tell people to get their shit together. You know. All right, you guys. Let me see what this is at my house. I'll catch you guys later, y'all.
All right, pops.
All right.
So yeah, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Long pep talk. Y'all go. Try shit together, man. And lock in. Let's finish this off. Before we move forward, I want to know if any do y'all understand just the idea of how car hacking works? Like, put it one in this chat if you understand it, and put it two you still don't understand it. Like, I know there's still more things that I gotta show y'all, obviously. But just the gist of the idea of exactly how it works, I want to know if you at least understand that part.
Hey Prince, I gotta go. 3 hours later, I got to go.
Yeah, I know. That's
All
cool.
right.
That's cool. I'm gonna have another a workshop on this anyway.
Okay, good. Y'all have a
All
good night, y'all.
right, you two be safe there.
All right, take care.
All right, good. That's good. I'm glad y'all understand. I'm glad y'all do understand. Let me share my screen real quick, and then I'm gonna get y'all out of here as well. Just got a few more things to go over. I'm gonna show you guys. So I get back to my screen. Let me see. Make sure the entire screen. Fuck it. This is not what I want to show y'all. Just had goddamn thing up. Oh no. Oh, here we go. All right, one second. Hold on. Let me pop this up real quick. All right. All right. So we left off right here. This is where we left off at about what are rewards. All right. So it's good that y'all understand at least what it is. Now, now that you understand what it is, like even though we talked about this as well, like the depreciation of a car, this is going to help you understand what cars that you should be looking at and what cars that you should be buying. Once you understand why a car depreciates, right? So I'm trying to think. That's something else I want to do. I'll do next time. So like we talked about. Wait, is this the right one? Why does it look like this? All right, fuck it, don't matter. So let's just keep going. So as we talked about, before pep talk, right? The years are very important from the first time you buy the vehicle all the way up to year four. So between years 1 and 3, what's happening? I feel like I'm missing something. So between years 1 and 3, let's talk about what's happening, right? So how a car depreciates from the supply and demand, the popularity, the options, and the colors. So the supply and demand is obviously how many cars is being produced, how many cars is still in production, how many cars is being brought back from year 3 when they return this car from the leases, and then in year 1 is the brand new cars. How popular is the car, right? Is it a mass produced car? Is it a rare car? Is the color option different? The specs of the vehicle. A lot of these little things matter when it comes to the vehicle. So in years 1 and 3, actually years 1 to 4, it's like the bloodbath phase, like the bloodbath phase. Like a lot of even exotics, even a lot of exotics, like all cars, right? All cars from where not all cars, but majority of cars from years 1 to 4 is the bloodbath phase. They depreciating like crazy, taking, the value just taking and going down, going down. Only like a hypercar stuff, but those well, that's like brand new stuff. But like those are cars that normally stay fluctuate, even appreciate or is stay flattened within them 1 to 3 years. When kind of like hypercars, those are cars like over $1 million and stuff like that. Um, so the first owner paid MSRP, right, or over it. So in the first year that car came out, from the time the manufacturer of that car sent it to the dealer, the first time the owner paid that price. And that year, and in year 1, is now considered used. It's a used vehicle. Somebody bought the vehicle, obviously, right? And then if that car that they bought, the production is still active, that's also a determinant phase of why a car depreciates. Like if there's still production, like say, for example, let's say you got a car that's a brand new car, 2026, right? And then not 2026, it's way too early. 2018, like the brand new car is a 2018 car, and that specific car, they still producing those making models. That also determines what's the car what's the car worth right now when it comes to the why it depreciated. And then you got there's still be a lot of cars in the market. It's already talked about. Dealers are still discounting new ones, and so the top of why it dropped so hard, like I said, the moment it's title is because it's use high supply, plus emotional buyers cooling off. Like the emotional buyers is the ones that's bringing them that's bringing those leases back, or and the ones that's buying a new car. Like those are what I call considered emotional buyers because they literally just buying off of their emotions. And when it comes to certain cars, certain vehicles, you never want to add emotion to anything, especially when it comes to money anyway, right? You're making money. No emotion. I'm sure I know that. No emotion, no business, no emotion in making money. Yes, there are certain cars that you guys, like I said, that's it's not going to matter because a lot of these cars that I'm gonna be showing you all, and y'all get to that point, we are ready to buy a car, right? And if you're in a position right now to actually do what I'm telling you, like I said, to get started, you need 650 and 50K plus in income net or some type of cash flow to start this. This is what you need. So when I get to these point, or if you're already at this point, obviously don't move forward yet with it because I still gotta still gotta show y'all more things when it comes to what cards to look for, the negotiation strategies. Like it's still more lot to it. I just wanted to do this introduction for you guys, just so make a word to y'all that you don't have to be driving around and mass produced vehicles. You could drive around. You could drive around in something that's still very nice looking and still make money from it, or lose a lot of money from that depreciation hitting you. It's actually you still can do that. So these things right here determines that. Like if even like down like simple like color like black on black base options, it's not going to hold any value because it's black because of black color, and black is a mass color, like it's the first color, like one of the colors where you see it every day, black, especially on a car, black, white, and silver. If it's a hot spec like rare color, it got any packages to it, sports seats, that's then the depreciation is going to hold. On the car is going to even hold, or this is what I want to get to. Is even going to hold, or it's going to drop less. So let me see if I can. So this is going to help you understand more of what's happening when you first buy a vehicle and how it's dropping, how it's depreciating. But before I do that, because this is supposed to be, I made a mistake and put the years. So I don't want y'all to think that this is the year of the car. These are the years that the car that the phase that car is going through. For example, this is a brand. So 2018 when it was brand new, this car was around 260 MSRP, right? It's around 260, and as you see in the first year, second year is just dropping. It's gradually just going down. It's gradually going down though, right? So it's not like it's just a complete drop. It's gradually going down. And then you can see one, two, year four. That's where it starts to flatten out. So from year one all the way to year four, that's where that appreciation is happening. From year one to year four, you can literally see it happening. And this is you can look this up. This is actually what's happening. What happened to this vehicle when it was first brand new, 2018. So I can see that the vehicle that the price is gradually dropping, right? And then it holds. So we at 1, 2, 3, 4. It holds it around five, around year 46. That's where it holds at. So at this point is where you want to buy the vehicle, because once you buy the vehicle, and I'm also going to show y'all how to predict a future car's price too as well. So it's going to help y'all. That's the main thing when it comes to buying these vehicles. So when you buy the vehicle, you can even hold it, continue to hold it, and still continue to hold it because you see now in year 7 and 8 it's going up. So it's appreciating. It's actually appreciating. And then when I show you guys the different, when I show y'all a mass produced car, you're going to see how the graph is completely different. So this is the key right here, is the understanding why the car is depreciating, where like why is it depreciating, where did it stop depreciating at, and if it's holding at that point, or is it going up, or is it going back down? So once you guys understand this, it's going to be like second nature. You're going to kind of buying cars. You're no longer going to be looking at mass produced vehicles. You're going to understand that I can drive around in a Ferrari the same price I'm paying for it. What a BMW 7 Series, a BMW 8 Series. You could drive around in the same price you're paying for that. So, and this is where most people get destroyed financially from year one all the way to year four. And well, I got it on the next one. I got it on the next one. But y'all understand this graph? They understand this graph? Any questions, comments, concerns on this graph right here, showing you how the car is depreciating and where is the good time to buy the vehicle, hold it, and get out of it? It's like this. It's the concept of this is like this for every single vehicle, but obviously the graph is always going to look different because it's not going to be the same to each graph, obviously, right? Because it's a different car, depending on what's doing in that market. Let me go back to my screen. I can't see chats. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, so it's once you understand the vehicle and how the car market works, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be simple. Like this stuff, even though I didn't show you all the rest of the stuff, like this is just literally the concept of it. The only thing us is understand of what car to buy, really, let's say, and what it's doing in the market currently. So let's talk what the graph is showing. So what I told y'all, so the yellow line, right, is represents the depreciation of how a car loses value over time. Even though the image uses a Ferrari, which is an exotic car, but during that first year, it still wasn't a good time to buy. Like I said, brand new cars is not good to buy. So it's an exotic car. Yes, it's nice, but you want to wait until at the year 3 to where the value is starting to gradually is now is flattening now, right? Rather than still going down like this, which most cars do. So from years, so from the first came out to first year, it drops automatically, right? Worst time to buy. You can see right here, boom, right, and just keep going down. Literally, even though it's going down slowly, it's still going down in year 1. So the line falls sharply right after year 0. So you can see this is where it's at, and it's not going no other way but down. So and then, like I said earlier, and this is the instant depreciation when it happens the moment the car becomes used. Like I said earlier, once the manufacturer send it to the dealer get a buyer, person buy the car, depreciation phase, instant lose value. It loses 15 to 30% of the value the first year alone, 20 to 30%. This is the most expensive time to buy because you're paying the premium that disappears immediately, and that's what you're paying. And then years 1 to 4, it still continued to decline, but still not ideal to buy. Like I said, even though it's declining slowly and not just straight down like all other cars, right? It's still not a good time to buy. The line continues downward, but the slope becomes less steep. Depreciation is still happening within 1 to 3 years, 1 to 4 years, but it's slower than in the first year. And this is the period where the car is losing value steadily. Buying here is better than year 0, but still not optimal, right? And then from year 4 to 5, this is when it's best time to buy. 4 to 5 year cars is old, right? But around the year 4, the line reaches to its lowest point, and as you see, this is where it's at right here, because now it's starting to it flattens, then it goes up. And this is where the appreciation stabilized. The car has already taken in major hits. The value is now closer to its true long-term worth, and this is the sweet spot for buying a luxury exotic car. And then after year 6, that's when like you see the curve, it goes up. It's the best time to hold or sell it. So the line begins to rise slightly. That signals the car is entering the collector stabilized value phase. And that's when, and like I was saying earlier, that's when like this car is a 2018. But the older car models, these are the ones that you really, if you're trying to make a profit and you're trying to park some money somewhere, those are the cars that you really 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 want to buy. Like I'm gonna have a category of cars that you want to buy to ride around in and not lose any money and make a profit from it. And then you'll have a vehicle that you could. I'm talking about you're going to make a profit from it by just because of what type of car it is, right? So it's the best time to hold during your 5 to 6. You hold during this time because the car is no longer losing value. It may begin appreciating. You're maximizing the value of your investment, and you're riding the collector curve. So it's like the wealth building phase I talked about earlier. This is just what you consider the wealth transfer system. This is part of it. And then if you're ready to sell, but in certain vehicles, you don't want to sell. You want to keep them. But after year 6, that's when, depending on where the market is at that current time, that's when you can exit the car. That's when the car, after the car is slightly appreciated, then you exit and you get into something else and do the same thing all over again. Because that's when market demand is strong, supply is low, older exotics become rare, which I said, and then you can't recapture the upside without taking an early depreciation hit. And this is profit taking. That's the profit taking phase. And then I have. Let's see. Can y'all see this? Are y'all still on? Wait, no, y'all probably can't see it. Hold on.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see it. I can see it, right? I
Yes.
switch screens. Okay. So here's some examples of other different vehicles, right? So this is a Lamborghini Huracan. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, shit, shit, shit. All right, hold on, y'all. I did some. All right, all right. here we go. Oh no, that's not it. All right, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll just talk about it. So now on this vehicle, the first year you bought the vehicle, it was around it's about 100 and like 100 about 56,000, like brand new. I wish I could zoom this in, but during the first year, the first few 3 years, you can see on this car, it's casually just dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping until you hit about year five, right? And then after year five, you see that it's steady. It's steady. It's gradually dropping a little bit, but it's steady. So if you was to buy this car now, if you buy this Lamborghini Huracan, you would actually break even or spend a little lose less money as possible by driving around in this same car for the same price you could drive around in a base model BMW, literally for the same price. And when it comes to getting these cars and the price range and what you be looking at, all that's gonna come into the next workshop. Like I said, I'm gonna show y'all how to do everything. Like you gotta know what you can afford, you gotta know what you can buy. Right, and you gotta know the worth of it. That's the main thing. Is what is it worth? What's the value of it? Because the price tag, it doesn't matter. Remember I said in the beginning, like when it comes to buying vehicles and like the price tag, you never want to pay attention to. Never, well, you want to know what the car is worth. The not the conventional way, but if you want to do it the Spartan way, you want to know what the car is worth, not how much it costs. So in this Lamborghini, you will buy around 4 to 5, and then excuse me, then you will hold an exit after year 6. So what the yellow curve represents, same thing is basically showing you that years 0 to 2 is as fast as drop. Years 2 to 6 it stabilizes, but it's still dropping though. So even though it stabilizes, it's still dropping a little bit. Then 6 to 8 is when the value levels out or slightly rises. So the curve is the foundation for the exit, buy, hold strategy, and that's basically what this whole car hacking thing is. You exit, you buy, you hold, and then you exit. Cause this is saying if you bought the car brand new, but we don't buy cars brand new. So I already explained that. Another example. Then we're gonna move forward. This is a Mercedes Benz. See, this is now this. Okay, so this car right here and the last car I showed you, the Ferrari, those are what you consider, or those right there are what you consider exotic cars, right? And this thing's exotic too, but it's like when you think about exotic, you don't think about Mercedes Benz. Even though this is a S63 AMG version, you don't think about Benzes. You don't think about a Mercedes Benz, right? Because it's not like it does. First of all, it doesn't look like an exotic car. It looks like a basic Benz, right? It don't look like this Lamborghini Huracan over here and that Ferrari. But people don't understand that exotic is not about just the looks; it's about what's behind that product, especially the car. I'm talking about the car sense, right? So this is a Mercedes Benz. So brand new car was about 130, about 135,000, right? And as you can see, from the first time the car came out, all the way to the fourth to fifth year, it did nothing but just drop dramatically, just drop. And then after year 5, now you see it's flattening out, and then it was going up. So that means this would be a great hack. This would be a great hack. You could buy this car and only pay $5,000 over the period of over the period of 6 years, and pay 5 grand driving this car. So these graphs are just literally showing you guys how the car depreciates and understanding that there is the right time to buy a vehicle, and depending on that time and that car is going to determine what you're going to make off of it, or how or what you're going to save on it, versus than driving around in this everyday cars. So I'm pretty sure. Oh, this is what I want to show y'all too. Now, this is a good method to show you guys because this right here it literally shows you. I don't have to go through all that. We're not, we're not beginners in here when it comes to like graphs and dealing with money and things like that. So y'all know what's happening. As I told y'all, if y'all have any questions, open up the mic. But now let's talk. Now let me show you the difference between a mass-produced car like a Ford Fusion or a Dodge Charger. So you got the year, then you got car, and then a curve. So as you can see, these two cars, you can see how in this graph it dropped. Of course, with brand new. Obviously, our cars dropped brand new, right? We kind of got that now. Our cars dropped brand new within the first 3 4 years. They drop, but as this is dropping, it's nothing like what this looks like. This is just a continued drop. I'm talking about dramatically. It's never going back up. It's never rising back up. It's never staying steady. Nothing. It came to drop, 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 drop. And this is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand and see. The cars that you're riding around in, yes, there are liabilities, and yes, there are cars that do appreciate. I'm pretty sure everybody probably thought in this chat that there's no cars that appreciate at all. They not liabilities. But if I'm showing y'all this graph right here, and I'm telling y'all this tech and strategy, look how bad. Oh, look how much money you're losing. It's literally just dropping. It's continuing to drop. So if you ride around a something like a Ford Fusion or a Dodge Charger, now, only time, then the Dodge Charger, then the Hellcats. That's the trim level. The Hellcats, there's not like like I said, it depends. Even though it's the Ford Fusion Dodge Chargers, it's also depends about the options, the specs of that vehicle too, and the trim level. But this is like a basic Dodge Charger, the one you see every day. These is not never ever go back up. So that's why I'm trying to get y'all to understand that y'all driving around the cars like this and it's losing you money over time. Even if even because people thinking you financing, ownership. Fuck ownership. The car that you're paying on, it does is not it's worthless. That first year it became worthless. So why are you still worried about paying ownership about this vehicle when you can own a car and get out of it and make a profit from it or lose as less as possible instead of just buying the car and taking that first hit when so soon as you drive off the lot. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand that y'all could literally drive around Ferraris, Mercedes Benz, AMGs, Lamborghini Huracans, Aston Martin. I see people about Aston Martins all the time in the track. Aston Martins. I think Liz, that was your dream for Aston Martin. Can literally drive around in cars like that and pay the same amount that you're driving around cars right now. So the average lease deal right now is about what like 636 a month, and you drive around the basic stuff, and it's not basic stuff. Who cares about you drive around to something that's going to lose you money over time? So why not just drive around something that then already lost its money, that already went through that depreciation curve, went through that phase already, and paid the same exact amount, even less, all because you want to drive around on a new. So what's happening in this graph? All vehicles lose value the first as the year increases. Each line slopes downward from left to right. That means cars cost the most when they know, obviously, right? Car value decreases steady over the years. So the Ford Fusion and the Dodge Charger, they stay close together because they mass produce vehicles. So they both cars was around about 45,000, right? That's their initial price. It's around like 40 to 45,000 first came out. The Charger hold the value just a little bit better than the Fusion, just because it's a Charger and Chargers kind of have way more demand than regular Ford Fusions. So that's the only reason why. But still, it doesn't make any sense because it still gradually drops. It never flattens or go back up. So there's no room. There's nothing to hack right here. You cannot hack with this graph. You can't hack this graph right here. There's nothing to hack. There's no margin. After a few years, the Charger still sits near 18 or 20,000, but the Fusion already dropped closer to 15,000. The general depreciation curve yellow falls the fastest. It shows a typical depreciation pattern for mass market sedans, which I was just talking about, right? So both the Fusion and the Charger perform better than a generic curve, meaning they retain value longer than an average mid-size car, which is cool and all, but you still losing a ton of money driving around on those cars, right? This is just labeling the cars in categories now when it comes to like SUVs, sedans, hatchbacks, trucks, things like that. Why is this like this? So this is just I just put this here for y'all to see the difference between a mass produced car versus exotic depreciation. I don't know why it's blurry, but y'all get the point, right? So obviously, y'all know mass-produced cars, as you see in the graph, there's a steep initial depreciation, and then it just continue to use value over time. Then on the other hand, exotic cars, you got variable depreciation, potentials for value retention or appreciation. So that's the important thing I want y'all to understand. Like really, just know that there are better ways, better ways to put your money when it comes to you transporting yourself to A to B, C to D, whatever. All right. And we're almost done here. We'll get off of this. Uh, and then, like I said, once I'm gonna document the whole process when I go buy this next car. Hold on, I'm about to share my screen. All right, this is not the one I wanted to be at, but you know what? Yeah. So those were just some examples. The examples I wanted to show y'all. So I'm pretty sure y'all pretty much get it now, right? Because I've been saying the same thing for about 2 hours, right? So like, just this is the introduction phase. So as we talked about, year three, it's never a good time to buy because that's when all the leases come back. They flood the used market all at once, and and manufacturers maybe offering incentives in a new one. So it's not a good time to buy. More supply equals price pressure, right? If you're patient, it's often is what you're looking for. Start looking for. When you patient, you wait until that car, hits about fourth year, then you go buy it and watch how much money you'll save or how much money you'll make off of it. And then from years 3 to 4, this is one of the biggest viral triggers in exotics. Most luxury lagers have a 3 year factory warranty, sometimes 4 years. And then when the warranty expires, that's when buyers start to get scared because we was told, never get a car out of warranty, never get a car out of warranty or repair is too high. The dealer, the price tag on the vehicle costs too much. I think I'm gonna get the price like because we thought dealers was like dealers was criminals too because some of the things they do is criminals, but everybody's in the business to make money, and that's why they look at it like that. But they do doing criminal shit. But and I'm gonna teach y'all that too, like how dealers actually work. Then the prices dips again, and this is 3 to 4. All right, these are all the things that's happening in year 3 to 4. Why cars depreciating. And then you got year 5. After year 5, that's when that's when these other cars, that's when it stops. Majority of them stop depreciating after year 5. So now it's not based on it's not based you're not basing it on time and you're not basing it on time anymore, right? You're not basing it on time right now. After year 5 is literally just off of the condition of the vehicle and the mileage. So after year 5, it's no longer based on time because it's been 5 years since the car came out, right? It then already went through it already went through its depreciation phase. So certain exotics, majority of all exotics, after year 5 is where you're going to look at to start buying. Because at this stage, the car newest premium is going value based on mileage, service history, accident records, spec desirability, and market sentiment, right? These are the things that's more important now when we're looking at exotic cars after year 5. But basically, after year 5, worry about condition and mileage. That's all you're worried about, condition and mileage. And this is where the good specs hold value, the rear trim stabilize, the special dishes can appreciate. All right. This is the last thing, y'all. This is the last thing right here, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Because I want y'all to understand this too. I want y'all to understand this. I just want y'all to understand, like, cause, like I said, like, knowing this stuff, it can really help you when it comes to like just saving a lot of money or not spending money for nothing. Like the anatomy of a new car, like what's the actual cost of a car? Like what dealers choose to charge for a car? Because we all know here, we don't know. You know that when the manufacturer of the car sent it to the dealer lot, the dealer marked that car up like crazy. And this is on the new cars. They marked that car up like crazy. This is not the actual. The sticker prices y'all see on them cars is not the actual car, not the actual value of that car. So 105 it's 147,500 in market with this vehicle right here. It's just the Aston Martin. Everybody talking about in the group. Aston Martin. This is the actual cost of the actual car. And on every car, dealers they mark on every new car, dealers they use markups. A bunch of markups. And that's why we see this ticket price here. That's why we see these cars, it'd be crazy, it'd be insane, especially now. Every brand new car in the market is over ticket price. Oh, way over ticket price. Every car in the market. So this is the price you see on the window. So let's talk about the dealer profit breakdown. And then I'm gonna show y'all how the car how they came up with this ticket price right here. 330,000. How they came up with this price right here. So on the front end, you had something called you had something called the this dealer's money. So when you go into a car dealership and you buying a car, and I probably don't even do this, and I never did even know how to, right? But when you're buying a vehicle and you ask for that invoice from them on that car, so the invoice is basically they letting you know what they paid for the car, but they really only you showing 8% of that because it's 8 to 20% in dealer money on the front end. That's on the front end. The other 20% that they're not showing you is a lot of things they're not showing you on that invoice. They can still show you what they pay, even if the invoice is correct. If they did say they paid for their car, cool, that's good and all, but they still won't sell it to you at that price. So that's why the negotiations come. That's where I learn how to negotiate. Then on the back end, it's 3 to 8% cash back. So on the back end, right? On the back end, these guys are making money from the manufacturer. They give them 3 to 8% on every car that they sell on the back end. 3 to 8% on every car. On every car. Because it's giving them motivation to move these cars off the lot. Because they also getting charged on that too. Then you got the warranty, the pre-billables, 10% warranty. 10% is what's in that markup price. Right? Because not like I said, this is not the actual value of the car. Nowhere near. More than half. So they add that factor into there because they can prepare for they can prepare down the line. So like say for example this Aston Martin, right? Normally warranties on exotic cars it's probably about 2 years, 2 to 3 years, right? So when somebody leased that Aston Martin, excuse me, somebody leased the Aston Martin and they bring it back after and it leases on Aston Martins and is about 2 years. It's about 2 years. Sometimes it can be to a year. But when they bring the Aston Martin back, that's they bringing it back after the warranty period. So now the car's without a warranty. So they're adding. So when they're selling these cars, they're adding 10% into their market price for warranty, just in case the car breaks down or anything like that. So they have a margin for they be prepared for the car do break down, and they gotta go into their fund to fix the vehicle because it's under warranty, right? They had to prepare stuff like that. So they add all this stuff in all in the car price of the car already, all in the price of the car while still trying to get you to pay over MS more than what the car is worth. But business, right? But it still don't mean it's right. You guys, why I said just know how to negotiate and know what you're paying for. Like it's crazy that people be overpaying for these cars and they're not worth anything. Like that's just crazy to me. Then you got the marketing. Right, we all know what marketing is, and then marketing don't just mean like like they putting out ads, they putting out campaigns and things like that too. I mean, yeah, you probably see them, but you don't see them as often as the marketing in the car world. They're normally talking about like incentives and stuff like that, incentives and stuff like that when it comes to marketing, like to get people in the door, to get people interested. So the invoice price, luxury brands don't polish invoice prices publicly, but industry average show that the anatomy of a new car's price is the anatomy of a new car price is from factory, like I said, to the dealer lot, to the markup, to profit layers. The profit layers is these right here. These are the layers that how they making their money. Okay, these are the layers. The moment a brand new car arrives on the dealer's lot, it has an actual cost to the dealer. Everything after that is markup and profit layers. And the actual cost to the dealer is this number right here, $155,000 to how much this car is actually worth, the value of this car. Stick 175,000 in markup. It's crazy. And this is what new cars. This is with brand new cars. When you get a used car, you completely avoid all this. You completely go around all that. You put all that BS, all the markets that they add on. You completely avoid all that. Only thing with new cars, y'all, used cars, y'all look out for is just the fees that the dealership be trying to charge. And the third party warranty services. Now a lot of people say they're bad, but my experience, I had good experience with third party warranties because I had a couple cars where the transmission probably went or engine went or certain mechanical parts of the vehicle cost a lot of money to fix, and the warranty covered that. So it just depends on the third party warranty, and you need to also understand that when it comes to buying a vehicle, not everything, but the majority of it, because like fees, like certain fees, like that, like destination price fee, like where like dealer, like where the manufacturer got to ship the car to the dealer lot. You got to they add that to the car price too, because you got to pay for that. So that's not negotiable. But when it comes to a used car, majority of the things is negotiable. Is negotiable. So you can negotiate the everything whatever they trying to sell you, you can negotiate. So a lot of people would just take this third party services at I supposed to be selling. They be selling for like they add like three, 4, 5 grand on top of it, and they just look at it and be like, okay, cool, I'll buy it instead of negotiating the actual price of that car warranty service. They just look at it and say they think they have to pay it, and that's nothing but the talk that everything is negotiable. You can negotiate everything. So the actual cost of the car, the true cost, is not MSRP, it's not invoice. Yeah, so I talked about this. I'll be going ahead, but on yes, because like yeah, I want to realize like this car hacking strategy game is it's just easy. It's cake. Like I said, you just have to know the know. That's it. And I have access to like when it comes to like the car market and certain deals like what dealers are doing and what's good. And I have access to this private group, so you know what I'm saying. So it's not gonna be nothing for y'all to actually learn stuff from me, even if we not have workshops on it or in my inbox up trying to buy a car. You want to make sure you want to lose no money on it. Definitely make sure you let me know before you go buy anything. So we did go over this over here. The invoice is not the does find the cost, which I told you about, right? Manufacturers often give money back later, which is what we're talking about here, was the profit leaders. So let's talk about this right here. So let's talk about what you're actually seeing. So let's say the car is $80,000, right? And then they get your invoice for 75 grand. So the customer we think that the dealer paid 75 grand, right? But on the whole back, which I was talking about before, the quiet refund that they're getting from the manufacturer is usually 2 to 3% of MSRP. So, and that's also built into the invoice, but it's refunded to the dealer later. So the manufacturer, this is what they pay to the dealer after they sold the car, and whatever percentages it is, this is how much money they're making off of the so-called $75,000 invoice they paid for that vehicle, right? Excuse me. So after they sold the vehicle to you, then they later back they get $2,400 back. So they never really paid 75 grand for the car. They paid $72,600 because of that holdback that they got from the manufacturer. And it's like this with all brand new cars. This is how dealers make their money. Then you got the destination fee, which I just talked about. It's usually about $2,000. They gotta ship the car from the factory to the dealer. Uh, it's a legit cost. They gotta pay it. We gotta pay it, but it's also built into MSRP and invoice already. Then you got the advertisement fees. This is the marketing I was talking about. Manufacturers force dealers to contribute to regional marketing pools. So, for example, $300, $1,000 per car. This is usually on invoice as a regional ad fee, but it's minor compared to back end money. So this is just this is just the money they had to put into marketing like per car. So y'all can understand that. And then you have the floor plan interest. Dealers they don't pay cash for most inventory, and that's why they hate cash buyers as well. They love people that come in here with financing because they make a lot of money on that, which we talked about. They use sometimes called the floor plan local, like it's basically a credit line from a bank to stock cars. So they get a line of credit to hold all them cars that they have sitting on a lot, and every month as the cars are sitting. And I'm pretty sure I heard you. I didn't know, but the best time to buy when it comes to negotiation strategies, you always want to look for cars that's about 60 to 90 days that's been sitting on a lot for about 60 to 90 days, because now you have more room to really negotiate with them, because during that 90 day mark they nearly in the red zone. So after that 90 days is when you start to get charged for them cars that's being on that lot. They start to get charged for that, which is right here. The car system is 90. Some dealers is different, but normally it's 90 days. But after the 90 days, the car sits on that lot, and then they get charged interest on each car, $400 depending on the price of the car, right? And this is why dealers hate age inventory They hate end of the month deals exist, and this is why people say it's good time to buy a car at the end of the month or end of the year. End of the quarter deals get aggressive, and time costs them money. This is why they hate holding cars. This is why you see certain cars, and it's at a certain time you haven't noticed, like it's be like crazy discounts on vehicles. And then what I talked about earlier about the pre-delivery inspection, pre-purchase inspection. So before the sale, you want to make sure the car is inspected, fluids is checked, software is updated, and the safety check is done. This right here can cost you $1,000 down the line. And let's talk about the front end profit. This is a visible markup. So the front end is supply. So the dealer is basically the dealer price. Is like I said, it's not the true cost. I feel like we already went over this, but it's just okay. So we already went over this, it's just worded in a different way. And I ran through the jump just like freestyle. Normally, I like to put things in documents y'all can fully understand, but kind of went ahead because I kind of said all this already. All right, let's talk about the value bonuses. So this is basically just literally talking about, but like I said, they get bonuses on these vehicles that they sell. So they sell 30 cars, 40 cars, 50 cars, depending on how many cars they sell in that month. They get money off of that. So remember, you guys, because I know I'm going on a rant, but just remember. Let me check the chat in a second. Just remember, and we're almost done. Just remember. Damn, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Fuck. It could come back to me, but I forgot what I was gonna say, but it'll come back to me. But just remember, damn, when I do that, I've been thinking too fast. They'll come back to me. So like I said, the value bonuses. This is what cars. This is what this is what they. This oh I know what I say. Basically, because I was ranting, I just want you to understand where we at right now. Because I know sometimes you can rant and get lost and get confused and shit like that. But this is literally everything everybody talking about here is literally the anatomy of how a car price is made up. So I mean I know I always wonder how this price how did this become $1,000 or how did this mic or how did this microphone or how did this right here become $1,300? Like what actually makes up this price? So I always wondered that about cars. And I've been studying about I'm like looking at that for about a few years now, probably about like 6 years now. And I know this is important when it comes to hacking the car strategy because like I said, you gotta know what something's actually worth before you buy anything. If you plan on making money with it or losing or saving money from it, you have to know those worth. So that's how I want y'all to understand. Like everything we're talking about here is literally what makes up a car, the price of the car. And this is another. This is just another way dealers, do their little silent multiplier. They basically charge the interest rate that you get on that vehicle. They charge it up by like 1.2%, 1 to 2%. And then the bank they pay the dealer for that markup. That's another way to just make money because the dealer, the manufacturer, I mean the bank is basically rewarding the dealer for getting them a customer. So that's what I said. It's all business. Like it's crazy because when you buying these vehicles and you see like the markups on these vehicles and how much they be charging, and it goes to the consumer, it looks crazy. It looks crazy, but is at the end of the day, it's really all just business. But that doesn't mean you got to pay for that price. That's why negotiation is important. And me and Seth gonna be teaching y'all about that. Like me specifically on vehicles, on certain cars. Him probably just on everything. Shit, who knows? But uh, because the bank, like I said, the bank they pay their markup fee. So there's a lot of ways car dealers be making money. So just know that that price that y'all always see on these cars is not the actual cost of the car. It's never extra cost. It's never even the used cars. I know I say this mainly applies to brand new cars, but even used cars, it's never the price. I'm pretty sure I knew that though, because especially the ones I hear that's been dealing with money just as a whole, right? And what's the actual value of something, actual worth of something, right? So just know that. So the difference over the long term becomes profitable, right? Depending on that long term, on exotic cars, on exotic and luxury cars, it's gonna be about $5,000 and $15,000, and you never see it itemized, like it's built into your payment. So this is the things. So these are like I said, silent numbers you never see into that deal. Why just push financing? We talked about that. They love to pay. They don't like for you to pay cash because they lose the finance reserve. They lose that bank participation that we just talked about, the interest rate. and they use a product bundling leverage. So is what the manufacturers be offering them. So when you finance, they get paid twice. This is just when you finance, they get paid twice, front end and back end, and then of course everything else we talked about prior before here, like the warranties and the marketing and all that. So this is what we talking about when it comes to the warranties. These are pre-billables, which they include all this into the car price, like extended warranty we talked about, gap insurance, we're gonna go over, tire and wheel protection, all this stuff that y'all see, all this stuff on here. All this stuff is what they add into the total price of the car. So I'm pretty sure if y'all did ever get a car before or finance a car, excuse me, finance a car, y'all seen probably they tried to probably try to offer you like tire rear protection, especially this paint protection, ceramic coating, key replacement, service contract. They probably try to offer you all this stuff. All this is pre-built into the vehicle already. You don't have to pay for none of this stuff. Honestly, the only thing that's important is really gap insurance and properly extended warranties. Well, ceramic coating, paint protection on exotic cars. I'm saying on exotic cars. Well, a lot of things are important for the exotic car, but what they be charging is ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. What they charge is ridiculous. So you don't have to go to them. You don't have to get this stuff from them and pay what they're asking you to pay. You don't have to do that. So all in all, the dealers they often make more profit here on the car than itself. Like I said, it's not just this is just the first this is just the first, like when it comes to like the front and the back end, that's just the first the finance department and the warranty and how everything is added into the car price. That's literally just only one thing that they're making money on. And then so their margin is normally about 50 to 70% on the car itself. Depending on the vehicle. Of course, these numbers always go up and down depending on the car, right? But normally it's always in this range though. And that's a huge margin. Then we got marketing and allocation. So the manufacturer sets aside a marketing budget for dealers to advertise the brand, which I went over earlier. Like I said, it's not just, but instead you paying for ads directly. They basically just telling them, you do the ads, put the ads out there. So they get reimbursed for all this stuff too. So the ads that they're putting out there, the money they're spending, they get reimbursed. The manufacturer reimburses them. So the dealer spends money on ads, Google, radio, whatever the ads they spend money on. The dealer submits invoices plus proof to the manufacturer portal, so they can get their money back. And then the manufacturer reimburses a 50%, 100%, depending on the program. So they literally get all their money back that they're marketing for a car, majority of it, right? If it's 50 to 100%. And then from there, that's when they use that marketing credits to cover the costs that they would have paid already anyway, and then they free up their own cash. For the car dealers, that's when the marketing it becomes a cost reducer, is a cash flow advantage, and is a sales engine. So they love to do that with brand new cars. And then, for example, so let's say the dealer spends $20,000 on approved ads. It's pretty simple information. The manufacturer risk $15,000. Dealer only spent $5,000 really because they got back. They risked $15,000, so they didn't spend that for a K. So after they got after the sales became final, they still benefit off of that 20K campaign because they didn't pay 20K for that campaign. The dealer only spent 5 grand. So and this is where they're making their money at on the, like the front. This is the back end. This is because of the back end. Then they get rewards for, and this is then they get rewards for selling higher demanded cars, like higher cars cars that's had high demand. So which is crazy because anything is a high demand is going to sell, right? So they even get a kickback on that. And this is the part that really matters when it comes to profit, right? So how many cars and which trims a dealer is allowed to receive when it comes to exotic cars. This is exotic cars right here. And now this is not when it comes to like cars that's in high demand. So they could they create this program. So if you say they sell a amount of units, they earn extra money, and then if they hit their targets, they get more allocation, which means they get more money to put into whatever they need to put it to when it comes to getting these cars off the lots. And they move and if the slow models are moved and unlocks fast models. So a dealer sells more, they get more hot cars. Hot cars sell with less discount or even markup. Which I was talking about earlier, how hot cars they're not normally discounted as much as mass produced cars because that car is in high demand and is not a lot of cars that's produced in the market. Hot cars sell with less discount even markup, which boosts front end plus back end, which we talked about. Like this all stuff is the same information. Yeah, pretty much at the end, right? So, um, we at the end. Uh, So let's talk the priority inventory access. That's just them having access to the money that like we was talking about because of that card. So if it's a high demand card, they now have access to more money to be able to move that card. So like if the car is a good trim or if it's allocations, new model launches, red colors, red packages, this stuff becomes priority to manufacturers because they know that this stuff is in high demand. So they want them to move it. They want them to move this off the lot. They want them to move the cars off the lot. They want them joints gone because it's in high demand. So it's like it's in high demand. Why can't you guys sell these cars, right? So they only get priority access to dealers who hit the customer certification index scores. That's why over here it says limited allocations. This is for dealers that meets these criterias down here. Well, these three right here. The hit volume targets. They have strong financial penetration. More people finance through the dealer, and if the vehicles are moving, if the vehicles are old and it's still slow inventory based off of that as well. And because when supply is limited, people pay SRP, people pay markup, they pay to buy add-ons, and they accept higher financial rates. But this right here is contradicting itself because just people just don't know. Like even though when certain cars do, even though when certain stuff is limited, there's other routes you can go down and avoid orders and avoid orders. Like I said, when it comes to like the supply being limited and actually getting a good price on a vehicle, that's more like the cars that's in like $250,000 and up range. So inventory actually becomes pricing power. But putting this all together, um, this right here is just biggest on everything I talked about. So this right here is just the way to predict the car's future value. But I'm not gonna go over this right now, it's because it is 7 o'clock. But so wait, hold on, wait. I think it's something else I want to show y'all. Let me check the chat. Yeah, Chris, definitely anything. Shoot, anything. They got a VA engine right now. Majority of them drones is going up because they're not producing a lot of V8 engines no more. Like a lot of car manufacturers are getting rid of that. And in the car market, people love that instant roar, the instant feeling. They don't like the four cylinders, the even the twin turbos with four cylinders. They don't like them things. So that's why I say it's important to know the type of car and what type of specs this car has that you're getting into, because then you'll know if you should be buying this vehicle or not. Um, cars at auction is very, very terrible, especially when it comes to exotic cars. I won't recommend buying a car at auction at all. The only time you buy a car at auction is if you done your research. I'm talking about to the T. But because sometimes cars can go to auctions. It's not always because it's an accident. It's not always because it need to be repaired or something's wrong with it. Sometimes the car can go to auction because it was repoed or was repossessed and things like that. But cars from auctions, when it comes to the exotic cars, electric cars, I won't recommend getting cars from auctions at all. And like I said, unless you really, really did your due diligence on that vehicle and why it got there and what's wrong with it and where it came from and things like that. Um, that's the only time I would recommend an auction. But unless you buying like a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 car, you just to get you to A and B, then yeah, cool. But when it comes to these cars, I won't recommend auctions at all. This is based off the fact that when it comes to the auction, like you never like you don't never know what really happened to that vehicle. Like they could tell you what's wrong with it, what happened to it, but like there's not no history of it. There's not no history of it when it comes to these exotic cars. That's more so like you dealing with mass produced cars. But so the next workshop we're going to get into more of the things that was on this agenda that I couldn't get to today. And I know, and not because of stuff. I know I wasn't gonna get to it anyway. Just fake off. It's just a lot of information. But so when we talk about like the difference between, and then once I show the difference between buying versus leasing versus hacking, like the money you're losing on leasing cars and buying cars, that alone right there. I mean, if you have some sense, like it'll have you thinking like, okay, wow, I'm really losing a lot of money just by driving around in this car when I could be doing it this way instead of me losing all this money. You're seeing I showed you the graph how much money is losing over time by driving around in brand new cars and mass produced cars is like that all the time. So the next workshop we're gonna which is going to be Sunday. There might be a class before Sunday though. Of course, I'll let y'all know. But we're going to talk about the buying versus legal hacking strategy, buying versus leasing versus car hacking, then exotic car insurance, and then warranties and repairs. And I want to get really dig deep into them things because those things is a lot of is a reason why a lot of people don't even like use this strategy when it comes to hacking cars. Like people want everything just like so easy, so fast, right? They want the deal over and done with. They want to get rich fast. Like they want this fast, they want that fast. Like they never want to go through stages to actually learn and understand what they're going through. So during that time or after you've been through that or whatever happened in that situation, like you're prepared for it now. So like a lot of people just don't want to do the work. Like it's like let alone just searching information on what type of car is a good car to buy right now and how long should I have this car and then be able to exit out this car and make money from it or just break even versus just buying a mass produced car and losing money on it every single year. I'm talking about every single day. Every second a car is losing money because you're first losing money off of the interest and then by just depreciating itself. So that's double money that you're losing. And that's more we're gonna talk about next workshop is just to understand, like I said, once you guys understand the car insurance, the taxes and the difference in how much you're paying when you're leasing a car versus doing the display the hacking strategy, it should definitely open up your minds if you haven't already about the right way to buy a car. And I'm just saying, like, we won't be riding around in the car every day. Like, we need to get high, we need transportation, right? We need to get somewhere. You might as well just ride around on Sunday nights and do it the right way while still making money from it or breaking even instead of just riding around and depreciating the asset. And a lot of these cars, like I said earlier, a lot of these cars, it could talk to, get you in front of some people that you could never get in front of, ride around. And well, no, I'm lying. I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that. Not in that aspect. Not in that aspect. Because not in that aspect. I can't say that. I can't say that. So let's just say for what you guys are doing for like the Sparta Universe, what we're about, right? Like we're all about growth. We're all about wealth. We're all about assets, right? So if this is what we're about, why not ride around in an asset? Okay, let's put it that way. Why not ride around in an asset? 'Cause I wasn't gonna say like certain cars, like, but that's not true though, because I know plenty of millionaires, but they don't drive around in this stuff. But even they don't know that that's what I'm saying. If you get to a point where money's not a problem for you, then cool, do whatever you want when it comes to cars. But right now, I'm just saying you can really save a lot of money by driving around the same, paying for the same car that you're paying for right now, and drive around and stuff like I'm not even sharing my screen, but it's cool. Drive around in the same, drive around in the same bullshit to drive around in right now. So, that's really all I got for y'all tonight. It's been about 4 hours. I didn't plan to go over this long. Stuff came in here and hijacked the Jones. All good though. Yo, dropping gems. So, like I said, I just want y'all to understand that. Hopefully, you guys did understand what I showed y'all today. Because, like I said, it's always a better way to do things. Always a better way to do things. I'm telling you, it is. Cause trust me, like just statistically, we only use 10% of our brain. So just imagine the stuff that we have access to but don't know how to do. You know what I mean? So we talked about earlier about I think Liz said something. I forgot what she said. She said something. I forgot what it was, but it's about sometimes I think it's about people don't have like access to information, something like that. But just imagine, but just imagine if we did actually think about the things we did instead of just following what we was taught growing up since birth. So imagine if we not did imagine if we didn't follow that, right? Like there's so many things that we don't know about, we didn't do yet, all because we so stuck, all because we so stuck on what we was taught growing up. And once Seth told me to forget everything I thought, and it's funny because it wasn't hard for me to do that. And as he told me this, and as we were going through our groups, Cole me here. So as we went through like every time we had a group I was about like 10, 12 people in that joint. And out of all them groups, I was the only one that just stayed because I really understood what the hell he was talking about. And I was like, I don't want to go back to that lifestyle. I'm gonna follow you and I'm gonna do what you do because I'm not going back there. So, and it's funny just to see that people can't even, you know what I mean? People can't even grasp that information about the stuff that they look at you like you was crazy. Like, what you mean the stuff we growing up was told was lies? Well, not knowing, I'm just saying, man, it'd be a lot. Like, you don't have to, I understand sometimes you don't know, but I feel like that's an excuse too because, and this is the people for that do know, because I know everybody in this room at one point in time somebody has brought you an opportunity, and that opportunity that you just decided not to take, that opportunity could have opened up your mind to other opportunity, but you decided not to do that is the reason why you're still stuck right now. So it's to just to see that it literally just took for him to tell me just forget everything you was taught. I was all right, bet, and everything I was taught was wrong. Everything. So if I didn't meet him right now, I'd probably still be driving trucks. I'm not gonna lie, I probably still be driving trucks, making about 10,000 a month, 20, thinking I'm lit and stuff like that, thinking I'm doing good in life. I mean, if whatever you desire, what you desire, but I'm just saying it's like livable wise or what I want. You know what I mean? 10K a month is not enough for me because I got a big family to take care of. So I still have been doing it the wrong way anyway because truck drivers they make great money, but off of who benefit though. Like you put in all them hours, you always on the road, always on the road. And like I said, it's cool if you want to do it, but I'm trying to trade my time for money. Like I don't want to be, you know what I mean, putting in all these hours, just to see a couple grand. Like I rather just work for years and years and years until I see multi millions. And like I said earlier, like I can't stop. There's no going back. I've seen way too much. So and this is another thing I respect about some of y'all in this group, especially Hit Nation. I'm not gonna lie, but y'all really been here, and y'all wasn't the ones that was like the bozos, like Adrian, Kate, and them goofy ass motherfuckers. Um, y'all wasn't like them, like and Heather and Bruce. Y'all wasn't like them where it came. I'm talking about where it came in. Like I see this guy. Like y'all stayed for the vision, and I like people that stay for the vision because people that stay for the vision, those are the ones you're going to succeed with. So it wasn't never about even it's crazy in the fact that yeah, we all got bills, but y'all wasn't looked at as like when am I getting paid? I'm doing this for you, why I still getting paid? Yeah, like y'all never did that, and it's crazy because y'all are the ones with the actual skill sets and not no damn title. I talked to Energy. I think I talked to Kendra about this. Like we gotta stop. Titles don't mean anything now, and clearly we all like Spark Universe just showed y'all all that titles don't mean shit. And I still fell victim to that, thinking that titles you gotta be professional. And this is probably probably a couple years ago. I'm still thinking I gotta be this professional guy to survive in this world. I gotta have this title. I gotta look like this. And clearly that don't mean anything. Just come with what you know, come with your skill, and that's it. Don't put a title on it. Don't put a title on it. Just come. Just the title is the skill that you have, and that skill is gonna get you. It's gonna get you far in life. Not that title. I promise you that title. That title. It ain't nothing but smoke and mirrors. And nothing but smoke and mirrors. Trust me. That title you ain't not that special. You're not that special. So I just want y'all to understand this right here because this is a strategy that you can really utilize and implement it into your everyday life because you're already doing it. And that's my big thing. If you're already doing something, why not just do it better? And this is what I'm here to show you guys. Like you're already doing it, you're already you're already getting leases, you financing cars, you driving around in cars. Why not do it the right way? Why not do it the right way? So that's all I got for y'all tonight. I appreciate y'all for coming out and hearing me out. Like I said, I got more for y'all. I'm gonna try to see how much work I can get done because I want to really hold another class before the 5th, just for everybody else. You know what I mean? But if y'all don't have any questions, comments, or concerns, y'all can go. I'm done for the night. I hear somebody on the mic. Somebody talking? No? Okay. No problem, Liz. Liz, to Alex, I said, what's up? Alex, I'm surprised I ain't see her here tonight. Much love to y'all. That's all I got for y'all tonight. I'm gonna this was definitely recorded, but I'm gonna chop it up obviously just to you know so I can watch the parts that I was actually teaching. Unless y'all it's too long. I'm gonna do that to y'all. Like 4 or 5 hours of well probably like 1 hour and a half of me teaching and he was the rest talking. So yeah. So I'm gonna record this for y'all, we'll chop it up and stuff. He's gonna put it in a backlog. Thanks y'all. Y'all be safe. See y'all soon.